Do you ever wonder how great speakers deliver unforgettable speeches? Well, stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to share with you the blueprint. Hi there, this is Derek Rainey with Speak Fluence. Listen, in my last video, I talked with you and I shared with you about how to convert your fear into confidence and to be able to go in and command any room that you speak in. So listen, if you haven't checked that video out, I want you to go check that video out first because it precedes this video. This video just builds thereupon. But now, in this video, I want to share with you the success structure, how to structure your speech in a way that you can deliver an impacting and a lasting speech, a speech that connects and resonates with your audience. Now, what I'm about to share with you is timeless. I mean, it is timeless. There's nothing new under the sun. And it's relatively simple as well. But how can I say this? Don't take the simplicity of it for granted, because you can use this and you can manipulate this structure in so many ways to be able to deliver a lasting and an impacting speech for your audience. And so again, I want to get right into this. I want to delve right into this so that you can get it. But structure is everything. Like even right now, I'm speaking to you right now extemporaneously, meaning that I don't have any note cards. I don't have anything written out. I don't have anything on my computer. I'm not reading from a teleprompter. I am speaking to you extemporaneously. In other words, I'm speaking to you from my heart. But I do have a structure in my mind, and that allows me to get on here. That allows me to record in one take and speak to you extemporaneously. So structure also helps to build confidence and clarity. We dealt with that in the last video. So structure is important. It's kind of like, it's just a real quick story. Like one of the things that I do is I'm a musician. I play music. I play jazz and R&B, and I'm a bass player. And I would be awestruck watching jazz musicians improv and rip through these scores of music and be on beat and never miss a note. And I would be wondering, man, how are they doing that? How are they doing that? And the answer to that is structure. Every jazz piece, every jazz standard has a structure. And just like a piece of music, every speech has structure. Every film score has a structure. So let me get into that structure, and I want to reveal it to you. The first thing that you're going to do to structure your heart-winning speech is you're going to have your introduction. Again, like I said, there's nothing new. It's simple, but do not take the simplicity for granted. Now, in your intro, here's where you're going to connect with your audience out the gate. Now, you could start with a leading question, kind of like I did in this video. I asked the question, have you ever wonder, how great speakers deliver unforgettable speeches, right? Something that, got your attention. You can do the same thing. You can start with a question, a simple question where you want to ask your audience. You can start with, you can open up with a factual statement. Maybe it's something they didn't know. And that factual statement may be a statement that will blow their minds. Like you may start like, do you know that the leading cause of death last year was not cancer, was not heart attacks, but it was obesity? I'm just using that as an example. I know what, that'll get my attention, because if you said obesity was the leading cause of death last year, that will definitely, because I'm right there on the edge. Don't look like it, but I'm right there on the edge of that number. So I'm trying to work on that and keep it down. But again, you see how leading with a factual statement is something that will resonate with people, because they might have thought one thing, and then you came and gave them a factual statement that completely revolutionized what they were thinking. You get what I'm saying? You can start with that. You can also open with and you got to use this one very carefully. You got to be very judicial with this one. You can also open up with something comical. It could be a funny story that you want to share. It could be something funny that happened to you that you want to share. But again, you want to use that very carefully and be very judicial when you use that. And you can kind of tell as you're reading your audience. I think your audience will let you know the feedback from their facial expressions, their body tone and all of that. You'll be able to tell if you can lead with a joke, if you cannot lead with a joke. So just be careful with that one, okay? And that's the first thing in your intro. And you can manipulate that and you can use this in so many ways. And the more you speak, you'll be able to, your intro it can be so natural. One of the things I like to do when I speak is I like to mingle with the audience and get to know the audience. And then when I open up, I just talk relatively very casual with the audience. And I just start having dialogue with the audience, and that gets them to settle down. And it also gets me to settle down. And so, again, don't take that simplicity for granted. So your introduction. Now, the second part is going to be your body. And I want your body to be very simple. I want your body to be 3 points and 3 examples. Or your body can be 2 points, 2 examples. You can do 5 points, 5 examples. It just depends on how long you got to speak. But 3 seems to be that kind of magic number where people can, they can remember it. But here's what's going to help them to remember. I want your 3 points I want you to come up with your 3 points, but here's your examples. I want your 3 examples to be 3 stories, because stories resonate with our audience. Stories connect with our audience. It connects with them on an emotional level. It connects with them on a mental level. And that's what will help them to remember your point. And so your story should nail home your point. And now when you tell your story should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. A beginning, a middle, and an end. So we're going to have 3 points. So we're going to open with our intro. We're going to hook them with our question, with our factual research statement or whatever. Or we're just going to have natural dialogue with the audience, or we're going to open up with something comical, something funny. And then we know when we get to the body, we have 3 points and we got 3 stories that we want to share. And that's another thing that's going to help you with the confidence, help you to be able to command the room, because these 3 stories that you're going to share, prayerfully and hopefully, they're your stories. They're stories that had something that's happened to you that you don't have to pin that out. You don't have to write that down. You can tell that story over and over again. Doesn't matter when you're acting, or doesn't matter when someone asks you, oh, yeah, tell me the story again. You can tell that story over and over again. So I want you to use your story. I want you to have 3 stories. Those are going to be your 3 examples to hammer home or to nail your points. And let me tell you, right there alone, I can speak for an hour and a half with 3 points and 3 examples, just right there alone. Okay. So finally, when we do that, we got our intro now. So the structure is introduction. Okay. Body. Under body, we got 3 points, 3 examples. And the last one is our closing and our call to action, right? So when you're closing, we're going to always have a call to action. And that call to action can be something as simple as, you may have merchandise in the back. You may have written a book on, how to play guitar, how to master guitar in 30 minutes, or how to cook, a good meal in under 30 minutes or less, whatever it is that's your niche, that's your profession. You may have written a book about it, and you may have that in the back, and you may say, okay, that could be your close. That could be your call to action. You could say, hey, in the back, I have my assistants in the back. My assistant is set up in the back, and I wrote a book entitled whatever the title is. You could show them a copy of that book, and that book may solidify whatever you just spoke about. It may really go deeper in terms of what you just spoke about. And you can say to them, hey, I would love for you to purchase a copy of my book. I will be in the back in the next 10, 15 minutes. I'll be signing copies, and that may be your call to action. Or your call to action may be something you want them to do that's relevant to your speech that you've just delivered. You may want them to, just say if you was talking about prayer, right? You may want them over the next, over the next 3 to 5 days, I want you to take 10 minutes out your time a day, and I just want you to pray. Now, after you pray, at the end of the 5 days or 7 days or whatever, I want you to journal and write down what happened in those 7 days. And then I want you to take a mental note and see if anything that you prayed for was answered, right? The call to action could be everything. It could be, again, it could be one of those things. But again, the structure is simple. It's a triad. It's 3. It's the introduction, it is the body, and it is the closing. That is the blueprint to an unforgettable speech. So in my next video, I'm going to be showing you how to use your voice. Yes, that's right, your voice to captivate any audience. So listen, don't forget, I want you to subscribe to my channel, and I want you to get into the comments section and share any topics that you may have struggled with or that you may struggle with. I would love for you to drop them in the comments section. Let's kind of have some dialogue going on, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'll see you when I see you.